Hey y'all, Austin here with Outer World Media. Welcome back to another weekly update, guys. This is the first one of the year, if I'm not mistaken. So, welcome to the new year, guys. Hopefully, you guys, if you're here in the States, are staying safe, staying warm. I know down here in West Texas, we're expecting to get a little bit of what the Midwest and Northeast are getting. This is going to be a little bit of a shell shock for some of us down here because it's been mid to low 70s ever since winter started. So get when you start to get down to the 20s and 10s temperature wise, it shows because everybody's out ransacking the shelves right now. But you know what? Hopefully, like I said, you guys are staying inside, staying warm, staying safe and whatnot. Hopefully, getting some reading done. If not, maybe watching a movie or TV show or something. But let's get into it though, guys. Like I said, this is the weekly update, first one of the year. So let's get into it. I got to start off with a little bit of showing off, I guess. I don't know. It was a pretty productive week as far as reading goes. So let's get into it. I did officially finish True Grit by Charles Portis. The review for this should be out in a few days. Me and Hyde Reed are going to be dropping our reviews the same day and whatnot. We have some questions that we've exchanged with each other, so keep an eye out for that. So I'm not really going to delve into what I think or thought of this book. I'm going to save that for the review. What I will say is I can see why this is a classic Western and whatnot, and I can see why it spawned a movie. I can see why they made a remake of the movie that apparently, from what I understand, did really, really good. I still need to watch either the original or the remake. I know it's a crime. I have not watched either one yet, but I need to before I do my review. Next, guys, I did finish that. So what else did I read? Well, with it, being January, we picked up on the wagon train. And I will say this before I do anything. Faceless, from what I understand, I have insider information that Faceless finished book one before anybody else. So we can all give him some crud for that. But I did pick up book 7 by Louis L'Amour in the Saga series, which is Lando. And I did finish Lando in a about a day and a half. It was a very, very quick paced book. I really enjoyed it. I bought it on my Kindle so I could read it when I lay in bed at night and not bother my wife. And that definitely helped me finish the book a lot quicker. I don't want to say, and I'll leave everything for my review, but what I will say is I don't think the series was getting a stale or anything like that or stagnant. But there was just something that was a little different about it that I enjoyed. So I'll leave that for the official review, guys. So I finished that, and then I ended up picking up another Western because I have like 4 or 5 of them on deck for this month. So I need to try and at least get as many done as I can. I did pick up Hanging Justice by Jake Logan, the first book in the Slocum series. This is a little under 200 pages. I'm about 103 pages in right now. And what I will say, being 103 pages in, it's still the story's still kind of getting set up for Slocum, I guess, to have his interaction and something to happen for him to want to chase down these bad guys or something. Again, for being a little under 200 pages, I thought, in all honesty, that the pace would be picked up quite a bit quicker. Not that it's not picked up. Again, I'm about 103 pages in, and we're still kind of setting up the story for the main character to meet the bad guys. So that's a little bit different than what I'm used to of a book of this size, especially being, used to reading Louis L'Amour's and whatnot. That normally has happened well by now. But again, that's not a bad thing. I'm enjoying this book, kind of taking my time with it, but again, still enjoying it. One thing I will say, and I was going to save it for the official review, but it says right here in Adult Western, I haven't seen anything in this book so far, aside from one line that says something happened to, I believe it was a 14-year-old girl in this book. But aside from that, there hasn't really been anything that is close to what I would consider like an adult Western, especially since it was like a Playboy Press release. It talks, essentially you have like a couple sentences where it says this character and this character did this, but that's it. It's not to the degree of what the Gunsmith, as far as going into great detail. So kind of a little, I don't want, and I'm not even gonna say let down by any means, just kind of a little awestruck that that's the case for a book, especially again considering that it was a Playboy press. But you know what? Again, I don't really read these books for set whatever. I read it for the Western because it's the Western book, and again for setting up for 100 pages, I'm still enjoying that. So should finish this within the next day or two. Again, just kind of taking a little bit of my time with these books, not trying to fly through them, but trying to get some stuff done and read. Next up on board, I have kind of slowly been reading Lost Empire by Clive Cussler, book number 2 in the Sam and Remy Fargo series. I don't know what it is about this series. It's not bad, but it's not clicking with me. Like I enjoy the characters; they're okay, and I'm gonna keep reading the series. But again, I'm about 115 pages into this, and I started this book like a week ago. Normally, I would be more farther along, and I feel like just about any other book, especially if this was like a Dirt Pit book, I would be probably almost finished by now, if not have already finished it. So I don't know if the Sam and Remy Fargo series necessarily is for me. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm gonna keep reading it because I bought like 12 or 13 of these books, so I'm gonna keep reading them. And I'm not one to waste a book, but again, just I don't know, not clicking with me. I'm kind of finding myself every now and then just kind of wanting to pick it up. I'll read 2 chapters, maybe 3, and that's kind of done with it. So I don't know what's going on there. Mr. Cussler is not connecting with me when it comes to the Sam and Remy Fargo series. But again, should be finished with Hanging Justice in a day or two. Again, just kind of picking up Lost Empire whenever I kind of just feel like it. So next up on deck is going to be another Louis L'Amour Western. That is going to be Conager. Gonna try to finish this because I know that come February, gonna have some bigger books on deck. So again, just trying to get some of these knocked out as quickly as I can and enjoy them at the same time. So that's gonna kind of be what's on deck. I'm gonna hold off picking up book number 8, Sackett, for a week or so, and just kind of finish Hanging Justice, and then start and try to finish Conager. Maybe get a little further again into Lost Empire. Somebody let me know down below if this series I don't know, if this series didn't really click with you, but it's weird. Again, I enjoy this series and certain aspects of it, but at the same time, I'm not really feeling connected with the characters, and I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird. I felt the same way with the first book, so I don't know. So who knows, guys? But next, that's kind of what all I got planned. I will say, and I want to give this movie a shout out. If you have a Roku or Apple TV or it's one of the smart TVs and you have the streaming options, Apple TV right now this weekend for today and yesterday, their Apple originals are free to watch. At least for whatever reason they are for me. So if you're interested in watching some stuff based on books, kind of some suggestions, that stuff that's on there, they have what is it? The Greatest Beer Run Ever. I watched that last night. That was a really good movie. I really, really enjoyed it. That was kind of along the lines of kind of like some weird history, kind of like The Professor and the Madman, and it's made me want to pick up that book, as well as they have Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. They have that show on there. That is the actual series, whereas The Greatest Beer Run Ever is a movie. It's about a 2-hour long movie. I highly recommend it. Really, really enjoyed that. But again, they have Dark Matter on there. I have not started it. I'm not sure if I will, just because I know I won't be able to finish the entire season before the time runs out, as well as it looks like they did put Killers of the Flower Moon. That is on there as well. That's also based off a book. But the big one for me, if you're a history buff like me, they have the Napoleon movie on there. But if you look, they also have the director's cut of Napoleon, which is like an extra 48 minutes and like a 3.5 hour long movie. I intend to try and watch that today and to kind of finish that. I got about 15-20 minutes into it last night. Kind of had to go to bed because it's a little late. But again, I wanted to get on here and let y'all know that they do have that. So if you have nothing to do the rest of the day, if your NFL team's out of the playoffs or you're kind of wanting something a little different, go check it out. Again, they got some stuff on there that's based on books. As always, guys, you stay safe. Have a good one. Try to stay warm. And I'll see you guys next time.